welcome to the Financial Flow. Please like and subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications to stay up on our latest videos. Professional boxer Mike Tyson filed for bankruptcy in 2003 because, despite making $300 million in his career, he owed $13 million in debt. Since many of our actions and motivations in life are motivated by a desire or need to acquire it, Tyson's bankruptcy raises an intriguing query about the value of money. If our inability to handle it is the main issue, then the average American's credit card debt is at an all-time high. To put it another way, you gain nothing. The most valuable country in the world is burdened by an enormous debt. In the United Kingdom and the United States, of course, this data is reflected. Consider your own attitude toward money and the way money functions in your own life. One's vulnerability was exploited by those peddling get-rich-quick schemes or gurus who promise riches if you just bought into their ideology. I've come to realize that our perceptions of money are sometimes more important than our ability to create it. There appears to be a gulf between the two. We'll look into a better framework for understanding money. A framework taught in personal finance but missing in formal education. Money inquiry. Money means what? What's the point of spending money on Amazon while working? Money is often defined as means of exchange, but that doesn't capture its essence. Money is an expression of value. You hand over a certain sum to buy something because you believe its value to equal to that sum. Price is often determined by the market, but money equals value. Money has moral significance in our society, so it's important. You've probably heard money is the root of all evil. When we see someone with a lot of money, we think they got lucky or who did they take advantage of, but never what value was created to generate that money. Money is simply value. It's not a necessary evil, and it doesn't make people bad. Scammers who convince you what they're selling is valuable say more about their own morals than about money. Money choices reflect moral values, so money expresses value. Money broadens horizons. How does this affect someone living paycheck to paycheck or with credit card debt? This may change how I view money. What can be done now? For clarity, next question. Your relationship with money. Money comes and goes. This is clear from comparing income and expenses. Money will enter your life because you've produced some value, and for most of us, this will be a job. Once you spend your savings, they're gone. Individual net worth can be viewed in many ways, but there's no customer impact. True to both, overconsumption is our biggest problem. A study found that 78% of American workers live paycheck to paycheck. A new survey found that 1 in 10 high-income workers live paycheck to paycheck. Perhaps someone with six-figure incomes is still looking for some money. As long as your salary is above the average wage and the cost of quitting, you'll still find yourself unable to leave. As any wealthy celebrity who has filed for bankruptcy can show us, production is meaningless if your relationship with consumption is skewed in the wrong direction. Self-defeating or pointless pursuits in a rat race mentality. There is a common misconception that the rat race is synonymous with a 9-to-5 job. In order to get you to buy them programs and books, some people use this comparison. But it seems unfair because it aims to villainize the job and exclude the fact that there are those who either love or who perfectly fine with their jobs or have other aspirations aside from their 9-to-5. Living in fear of losing your job, having an unexpected health problem, or any other unforeseen circumstance could throw your financial situation into turmoil. This is what it means to be in a rat race. In order to maintain your lifestyle or pay off your debt, your job is no longer an option, but a necessity. The things you own end up owning you, says Tyler Durden in Fight Club. The first step in personal finance is to become aware of how you feel about money and how it affects your life. When it comes to tracking your monthly expenses, you can do so by keeping a log of everything from transportation costs to food costs to entertainment costs. In the world of behavioral finance, this can be called the ostrich effect, which is our tendency to avoid negative financial information. It's that feeling you get when you refuse to check your bank account after a night out because you're afraid of what it might reveal. Once you get past this stage, however, it's time for you to take control of your behavior as a consumer, which often involves the idea of budgeting and decency. One of the most common practices in personal finance is to maintain an emergency fund before deciding on a specific investment strategy. 3 to 6 months of living expenses is the typical amount you should keep in a rainy day fund. As a result, the concept of living within one's means is crucial. For what reason would we choose to live in a state of financial uncertainty? You should be aware of financial effects such as the ostrich effect. There is hyperbolic discounting, a tendency to prefer short-term towards over long-term rewards, such as purchasing a new pair of shoes rather than saving that money for a future investment, or there's social proof, our tendency to think and act like those around us. Similarly, if you keep others spending money on something bad, you're more likely to do the same, always looking for the next thing, whether it's a paycheck or a material possession. Stick to a budget to stay in the rat race. What's the point of making money, or imagining having as much wealth as possible, if you lose it all or have to work non-stop to fund that lifestyle? All that said, let's talk about making money. Speaking to a large group of people, it's easier to give advice that will be helpful to the majority of people than it is to increase one's income. This is why we see whole communities devoted to frugality rather than increasing one's income. Living a frugal lifestyle, saving and investing as early as possible, and retiring as soon as possible are just a few examples of this movement. While the FIRE community has a similar outlook on the world, the minimalists have a more in-depth philosophical position on the subject of the world and materialism. Advocate frugality, saving money, and investing for the long term. The strategy works for a wide range of people with varying levels of income. It doesn't work for everyone. Solving a problem and making a profit by selling the solution to the market. Successful businesses at scale can produce this kind of entrepreneurial path. Our society can benefit greatly from this technology. As a result, your production side of the equation grows exponentially in comparison to a standard job. But this isn't a route that everyone can take, nor should they try to. It's about reflecting on your own capabilities and whether entrepreneurship is best suited to your direction. That being said, it's important to remember that increasing your output doesn't have to come solely from the definition of a business. YouTube as a platform for mass production of a product, in this case, is a series of personal finance videos. YouTube is also a vehicle for mass producing something. Your form of production may be developing an app or software that solves a problem you believe the market would pay money for, or perhaps a fitness brand that is branded extremely well. If you ask me, most people's primary source of income will be a standard 9-to-5 job like Ben Francis did with Gymshark. But this doesn't mean that if you can't do more, you must understand how you can produce value for the market in order for you to earn money on a large scale, which is what understanding yourself as a producer is all about. The internet has provided us with a great deal of opportunity to produce something and put it on the market, but only after you've released it can you know for sure if the market wants it. To sum up, journaling your consumption and then setting a budget to manage and control that consumption is the first step to becoming aware of yourself as a consumer and understanding what you buy and why you buy. When it comes to producing, the goal is to maximize the amount of value you can add to society through a job, a business, or some other form of production. This approach has been extremely beneficial for both myself and countless others with a financial motivation. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to our channel for more content like this. Have a good one.